that John Elway had, and although the Denver defense has been very, very impressive and very thorough, Elway still, I think, is a story.
Well, I think so. I mean, I don't know that you can blame the defense. I mean, Elway made some great plays, some plays that there's nothing you can do about on defense. I mean, he comes back, he stops, he looks, he can't find anything, runs out to the right, heaves the ball 50 yards, and I think the problem for the Cowboys was just too much Elway in that first half.
Karlis kick goes to Robert Levitt. He lets it bounce on the end line and downs it in the end zone. And the Cowboys will operate from their own 20-yard line. Steve Pelluer started at quarterback, and he's still going to be in that situation. And it was a frightening situation for him in the first half.
I'm sure one of the things they talked about is what they're going to do on first down. Because, as I said, they average -1 yards on first down. Now, that gives you a hole to climb out of on second and third down.
So the Cowboys, from their own 20-yard line, their average yards on first down, -1. You don't win many like that. He's going to throw on first down again if he has a chance for Banks. Incomplete and no interference call. Louis Wright back on the coverage. Oh, what a good back he is.
Well, of course, they came on a blitz that time. The Broncos did. They figured out that they were going to get him. They were going to make him throw from a prone position. But again, Louis Wright is one of the tough guys. He's been in the league 12 years, been a corner for all that time, but he still doesn't give you much, if anything.
He never has.
I remember that was one guy when we played the Broncos. I would never mess with Louis Wright.
Denver showing blitz again. Pelluer. Banks out of bounds. Louis Wright on the coverage. That's a Dallas first down. A gain of 12.
Well, of course, they came right back and they messed with Louis Wright. They said if we can't get it deep on him, let's see if we can get an out in front of him.
I don't think they're going to tire him out. Dan Reeves was saying this mile-high city, of course, takes some time adjusting to the difference in altitude. He said he thinks it takes at least 6 weeks.
So it took he himself 6 weeks. He said he tried to play handball the first week he got here and darn near died.
Newsome by Rulon Jones. He gets out of his grasp, and maybe he got a couple before Greg Cragen took him down.
You know what I've always thought about these Bronco fans, and I said it, is that, they had that orange crush. They had the defense thing going for years. They have Joe Collier, who's the defensive coordinator here, probably the best or the top guy in the NFL, and they really understand and appreciate defense. They understand, what it is when you blitz and you get long yardage and what you do on first down. They understand all those things.
2nd and 7. Here they come. And Pelluer throws it up for grab. He had to. Mecklenburg was there. And there were 2 or 3 others breathing down Pelluer's throat as he turned around.
I don't know that that's breathing down. That's kind of hanging on his neck. Watch 77 right up the middle. Mecklenburg's coming up there. Pelluer play fake. When he got turned around, there he was staring at a 2-7s.
Play fake didn't take.
No, and then how's that? You come out and you see this guy looking you right in your face when you come out of your play fake.
Ken Woodard was back there also. That'll make it 3rd down. 7. Cosby is lined up inside Banks this time to the right. Tony Hill left. That's Banks in motion. Over the head of Banks. Couldn't come out of his break. Mike Harden was the defender.
Well, they brought the safety on that one. Here's Coach Dan Reeves there. He has 2 friends with him. There's Leroy Jordan, who, of course, was a middle linebacker. You say, now, what side is he on? Played for the Cowboys, played for Tom Landry, played with Dan Reeves. Probably on the Cowboys side, right? Wrong.
He was on the Denver side. Saxon back to punt. They don't try to block it. Saxon gets off a good kick. Willhite retreats to the 14. Willhite gets out to about the 27, and down goes the flag as Steve Diassi tripped him up. 51-yard punt by Saxon, a 14-yard return. Willhite, left shoulder, left arm, looks like. Might be a little numb.
You know, earlier, remember on the first play of the game, he went down and there was something wrong with his fingers at that time. I think there he just got hit on that bone. You know that bone when you get hit and it goes down your arm and numbs your arm and you get the tingling? The funny bone or the crazy bone or whatever that bone is.
Illegal block, number 22, on the run back. First down, timeout.
Tony Lilly was the offender. Denver in control. Opening seconds of quarter number 3. They lead Dallas 22-0. Reeves on the sideline. And he's got that famous chart. That's something that he learned from Landry, those situations.
Well, you see how they have it broken down. It's first down, then they have 2nd and 6 plus, second and less, and 2. Then they have 3rd down and short yardage goal line. They have every situation broken down and the plays they want to use in order.
Lang in the backfield with Winder. That's Winder. He's hit by Hegman. And I don't think he got anything. They'll bring up the 2nd down. I'll bring you up to date while we have a moment on the injury situation. Randy White has a pulled hamstring and he is out. Clarence Kay of Denver's in the game now. He has bruised ribs. He'll play, is playing. And Dennis Smith of Denver, the safety man, has a groin pull and he is out.
I'll tell you, the one that has to hurt the most is Randy White being out to the Cowboys, because we talked about how they already have 2 of their defensive linemen on injured reserve, and then to lose a player of his caliber.
Sewell by Downs and Jones. Nothing doing there. Everson Walls over to help out.
You know, one of the things that Dan Reeves was saying, that you got to get these safeties blocked. He said Michael Downs is a weak safety, and he always has the weak side inside, and then Bill Bates is a strong safety. And he says you just can't let those guys go unblocked in your running game. Most offensive teams don't count the safeties in their blocking thing. But the Broncos are today against these guys.
3rd and 11. Dallas going with a 3-man rush this time. Elway with all kinds of time. Almost picked off. Ron Fellows was one of the Cowboy defenders. The other is Victor Scott. They almost had a big interception.
And they're both down. That's Fellows, and Scott is in front of him. I think Scott hit a finger. I think got a finger or a hand jammed on that thing, either on the ball or on his own guy. But he dislocated a finger. Watch him. There's Fellows. Now watch 22 Scott will come into the picture right there. You see, and it looked like the ball, or maybe it was Fellows' shoulder pad that he caught the finger in. That's reacting to the ball.
Either one of them had an interception.
Had the other one not been there. But you don't know that. You can't look for your guy.
Fellows walking off. Scott is still down.
You know, that's what happened to Bill Bates. Bill Bates got that finger of his. In fact, he had to have surgery on it. They have 4 pins in his finger.
It's a horrible looking thing.
Oh, it sure is. But he jammed it in a shoulder pad. Dislocated, and you can see that's his right finger. It's the ring finger on Bates. But he said he was coming on a blitz, and he got his finger caught up in the shoulder pads of the quarterback.
Phil Simms.
And they put 4 screws in that right finger.
Denver 22, Dallas nothing. Don't forget college football coming up here on CBS. Michigan State against Michigan. Most of you in the country will see that. Or Arizona against UCLA. Michigan is ranked number 4. It's all live at 2:30 Eastern Time next Saturday here on CBS. Here goes Victor Scott.
And it is his hand. You see how he's holding his hand out there in front of him? They're going to take him right to the locker room.
Wheels standing back in the end zone to punt. Good kick. Lovett retreats to the 36. Is hit at the 25 by Daniel Hunter. He used the first man there. And the Cowboys will come on. X-rays for Victor Scott. That's why he's gone inside. That's why he's going inside. 51-yard punt, 5-yard return. They are X-raying his right wrist.
You know, the interesting thing, the Bronco locker room. It's a Bronco side, so I'm sure that's where the X-ray machine is.
Ron Fellows twisted his knee and ankle, so they're checking him too at the moment. Running out of folks. First down, Dallas at their own 40-yard line. They trail 22-0. Pelluer back to Walker. Walker, maybe a yard, and hurled backwards. Defense led by Jackson and Rulon Jones. Today's attendance at Mile High Stadium, 76,082. A new Mile High Stadium record. There were only 46 no-shows. And they usually boo the no-shows, even though they're not here.
I'm sure they will, but the reason that there's more people in here is they got some new luxury boxes, and they were sold out for the first time.
Second down and 9. Walker only got a yard. To unload, and a penalty flag is down. Pelluer has been unloaded a punt.
I'll tell you, the guy that's really causing a lot of trouble is that guy right there, 48, Randy Robbins. He's taken Dennis Smith's place, and he's been up there and blitzing and coming from the outside and over the tight end.
Offense, second down.
Hey, he's been a force in there today, Robbins has. You know, that's the type of thing when you have a championship caliber team. A guy can go down, and you can bring in a guy, and he can play just as well.
Here comes Victor Scott back out after the X-rays, keeping that arm elevated. And now it's wrapped. Second and 14. Cowboys back now at their own 36. Unable to generate anything. Newsome juggles, and Newsome will have a Dallas first down in Denver territory for the first time in a long time. Steve Wilson knocked him out of bounds, and Newsome got 30 yards.
I'll tell you, Newsome was open all the way. That was Ken Woodard. A linebacker was on him, chased him from the start. Now watch him. He's right here in the left of the screen. He's going to come right up the middle. See 30? Now watch 52 starts chasing him here. He's behind him all the way. And then he bobbles the ball, gets it up. Woodard still chasing, chasing, and finally gets here. Yeah.
Dallas first down at the Denver 39. 10.5 minutes left to play third quarter with Denver leading 22-0. Walker is the lone setback. They give to Walker. Herschel. Inside the 30 to about the 28 before Mike Harden tripped him up. A gain of 6. We're at Mile High Stadium in Denver. We're looking at a record crowd, over 76,000. Pat Summerall and John Madden. Head coach Dan Reeves yelling encouragement. And the Broncos lead it 22-0. We're in the third quarter with just over 10 minutes left to play. Gerard split out wide to the right. Tony Hill to the left. 2nd and 4s. Crosby comes in motion. Walker trying to get to the outside. Will get only a yard or 2. Steve Foley cut him down after a gain of 1.
You know, that's one thing that the Cowboys really haven't been able to establish Herschel Walker today. We just see there 11 times 34 yards. Now, whether the Cowboys haven't used him enough or aren't using him right, I don't know that that's not academic. I think it's just that the Broncos have been playing him very well. They haven't given him anything. They've kind of suffocated Herschel Walker today.
They have done just exactly what they said they wanted to do. 3rd and 2. Ball's at the 27. Walker's in motion this time. Pelluer goes back to throw, kicks it out to Walker. Looks like it's enough for a first down. It's very close. Randy Robbins was out there with him.
I think that was the thing that impressed the Cowboys so much when they got Herschel Walker, is what a good receiver he was. And they figure they can put him anywhere and run him on pass patterns, and he can catch the ball as well as any receiver they got in the team.
And he knows how to get open. They were also surprised to know that he can block and will block.
But the thing that always, talking about surprise, surprise this and surprise that, is how big the guy is and how fast he takes that load with him. I mean, to run fast is one thing, but to be that big and that fast.
But again, the Broncos have done an excellent job defending against him today. Cosby, the move man again. Pelluer back to throw. That's Mike Sherrard, and they finally do get him down. Ricky Hundley does the job finally. Number 98. Not a first down. About a yard shy.
I think this is one of the guys that once he learns this Cowboy offense, I'm talking about Mike Sherrard here, he's going to be a big part of it. He's going to be that speed on the outside that they're looking for. He's going to be that big play receiver. He held out for most of training camp, so he really doesn't know the offense the way they want him to. But when he gets it, he's going to be a big part of this Cowboy offense.
To correct what I said, it is a first down. That last lunge got it. There's the Denver 14. They give us to Newsome, and Newsome hammers down inside the 10. Ricky Hundley finally made the stop, but a gain of 7. There is Victor Scott, and the word is he has a fractured wrist. That was a play that was just unfortunate because both he and Fellows had a chance, a shot at an interception, and they collided with each other.
I'll tell you, that's one good thing about the stadium, so the fact that they do have these x-rays there, and they can have an injury like this, take them right in, get it x-rayed, and they know what it is, so he doesn't stay in there and continue playing with it.
Pelluer to Banks, pushed out of bounds inside the 5. Randy Robbins. Close to a first down. 5, and it is a first down. They might conceivably measure, but it looks like he has it.
One thing, excuse me.
I was just going to say they were here once before. Here's Brian Baldinger coming in as, I'm sure, an extra tight end.
And talking about tight ends, Doug Cosby right here hasn't caught a ball yet today. And this is where they've always liked to use their tight end, is down in this area. Of course, they'd like to use them in other areas too, but they haven't been doing it today.
First and goal from the 3 with 7.5 minutes left to play third quarter. They'll go with 3 tight ends. One of them's in motion. Now he comes back. Now they give to Walker. And Walker gets in. From 3 yards out, Herschel Walker scores.
Watch Doug Cosby here. He's going to come in motion, then he's going to stop, then he's going to come back and try and find a place to lead Walker through. By the time he finds a place, Walker's there. He just throws his body sideways. That was just enough movement to get Walker into the end zone. That's not bad. I don't know what you call that technique.
I don't either.
That's kind of the old, remember in high school, the old side body block or something?
Get in the way, it looked like.
6'6" frame across the hole.
Pelluer is holding. Septien's extra point is good. Cowboys, after a struggle, get on the scoreboard. And it's Denver 22, Dallas 7 with 7.5 minutes left in the third quarter.
No. He doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. Yeah, that's not as good a shot, though, as I thought. I mean, last night when I looked at it, I could see the pin sticking out. Was Scott going for the... Scott, the John?
(22-7) with 7.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Rafael Septien set to kick off in the direction of Ken Bell and Gene Lang. Lang is 33, Bell is 35. Here's Bill Bates, who is the Cowboys' strong safety, but also excels on special teams. Next to him is the free safety, Michael Downs. Septien's kick will be handled by Lang at the 3. And Bates makes the tackle on the kickoff, and a penalty flag is immediately thrown. 22-yard return.
You know, Bill Bates has been one of the best special team guys in the league. I mean, some guys, they're not the fastest guys in the world. They just have a feeling of how to get down there, avoid a block, and make a tackle.
Illegal block, number 85, on the return, first down.
Joey Hackett is 85.
You know, and this whole thing coming down here, I've always felt it's about 10% ability and 90% desire. Some guys just have a little more interest to getting there than others. And Bates has always been a guy who has more than anyone.
Of course, he's playing with a broken finger that's got 4 pins in it. And it's not the most handsome thing you'd ever seen.
Well, the pins are starting to come out, he said.
That's Winder over the right side. That's the protection that he wears over the finger and the pins, and then on top of that is more protection. Gain of 3 by Winder.
I asked Tom Landry last night if that thing, you know, in that protective garment and stuff that he has on there, if that bothers Bates, and he says no. He said Bates hits him so hard he doesn't need his hands.
He said he's just one of those guys. 2nd and 7, Broncos, their own 18. Elway gives to Winder again. Stopped by Dutton, but he's very close to first down yardage. Flags come flying. Winder got 8. I think Bates is involved in this altercation.
I think it started with Clarence Kay, the tight end of the Broncos. You know, usually those guys that stay with their blocks are the guys that start fighting when they get behind.
Might have been Jeff Rohr involved instead of Bates.
Well, you know, guys like that can block a long time and finish off blocks, get a lot of fights started. Watch him right there, number 88. Well, you see, he hits him from behind. He's hitting Rohr from behind. He gave him a double dipper whap in the back. And then Rohr turned. Well, that time they got the guy who started it.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 88, offense. It's still 2nd down.
Not much doubt about it. In fact, no doubt about it.
Unless Rohr did something before that.
That could be. How about this? The Eagles shut out Atlanta. Falcons dropped to 4-1. Washington continues to roll. 14-6 over New Orleans. George Rogers had 100 yards, 110 yards, as a matter of fact. 23-0 shutout by the Bears.
I wonder if these Cowboys can get ready for the Redskins coming down there next week.
They're going to be beat up at 2nd and 12. Elway makes a one-hand grab. Can't find anybody, finally does. It's out of bounds. Mark Jackson was the intended receiver. The Giants beat St. Louis, improved their record to 4-1. Giant defense had 7 sacks against St. Louis. Lomax taking a tremendous beating this year. Detroit 24, 13 over Houston. That's the final, of course. Cincinnati beat Green Bay, although Packers came back.
Esiason didn't have any interceptions this week. Last week he had a long day against the Bears.
He had a tough time against that Bear defense. Raiders beat Kansas City. 3rd and 12. Fellows is back in the game at cornerback. Elway. Incomplete. Elway was looking at big Ed Jones and had to unload a little too soon.
I'm sure that's one thing the Cowboy defensive line worked against this week, is that pass between the line and the quarterback. You know, that shuffle pass type of thing. Because that's the second one the Broncos tried to throw. First time Jeffcoat darn near intercepted it, and that time Ed Too Tall Jones smelled it out.
Jack Wheel back to kick, and Robert Levette standing just in Dallas territory at about their 48. Wheel out of the end zone. 6:03 left, 3rd quarter. Won't turn over. Levette trying to run it down, and can't hit him. He got on it. The ricochet picked up about 8 yards for Dallas, and Levette got on it. It'll be 1st down Cowboys with 5:54 left to play, 3rd quarter.
Ball he had.
7 next week on CBS. John and I'll be in Dallas when the Redskins come to town. The Chicago Bears go to Houston. The rest of that lineup all begins with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern, and then the Eagles and the Giants, Minnesota, San Francisco. Pelluer outside Banks, got a blocker in front. Good play by Steve Wilson. Howard Richards was out in front of him. Now Banks wants some rest. Mike Sherrard comes in.
That's what it looks like from where we are, from what we're looking at to where we are.
In case anybody ever looks at it.
In case anyone ever cared.
2nd down and 6 at the Denver 39. Richards jump. The man in front of him, Andre Townsend.
You notice that these offensive linemen are wearing these jerseys tighter and tighter?
Offense.
Yep.
2nd down.
Well, it's like they're these big guys and they're wearing small jerseys. That's so the guys can't hold them. I mean, you can't even tell their numbers or anything.
Well, the numbers look funny.
I know it. And
They're so tight.
And then they tape those jerseys to the numbers. And some of them, if you got a little crease going down there, you can't even see the bottom of the number. You just get the top.
That's the kitchen.
Newton.
Right.
Get lost half his number somewhere.
2nd and 11. Pelluer gets around the corner. Had a man. There was Herschel Walker who couldn't come down with it. Pelluer did a good job to get it close to him. Tony Lilly on the coverage.
See, look, he's one. You know, where's the other half of his number? What is half of 67? That'd be about 33 and a half.
Yeah. 6'3", 306.
He weighs more than that.
Played in the USFL. Has a brother who plays for Minnesota.
This could be a brother here.
His brother's known as the freezer. He's the kitchen. And, of course, there's a guy named the refrigerator. Cosby came up with the ball. He got the bounce. And he had it as another ricochet for good yardage.
That was an interesting formation. They had 3 guys lined up out here in a line. Then they threw to the other side to Cosby. Look at him out here. They have the 2 wide receivers and Herschel Walker behind him. This was over here in the right side. That was a decoy. Then over here in the left side is Cosby. So they want him to look. Everyone look over there, and then they'll throw here. So they throw it to the defensive guy, and Cosby catches it on the bounce. Pretty good play.
1st down Dallas at the Denver 30, and the crowd starting get a little concerned. Pelluer. Draw play to Walker, and there's nothing there. A loss of 5 at least. Mecklenburg again.
Well, and the nose tackle, Greg Cragen, was in there too. Watch 71. He's going to be right up there in the middle along with Mecklenburg. See both of them there? Cragen hit him first, hit him in the side. Mecklenburg has him over the top. That's penetration. That's getting in the backfield. You know that Greg Cragen, he's from the same town I am, Pleasanton. Played high school against my son.
And had a good day.
Sacked him 5 times. Boy, if you're a father, you remember those things.
Second and 15, and here they come again. Pelluer has some time, there's a penalty marker down. Here's Walker, still on his feet. He would have it up for a Dallas first down, but it's going to be holding.
Hey, that was a play that the Cowboys needed. It's not going to count.
Number 61, offense, hands to the face, second down.
Hey, you know, we talked about Herschel Walker and how fast he is, but how about how strong he is? They got hold of him trying to grab a jersey, trying the old bulldog stuff. That doesn't do it until you get a little help. Finally, when Tony Lilly got over there, they finally got him down. I mean, those are like 2 pistons, those legs going boom, 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 boom.
Second and 24, back at the 44 now. Now watch that front line of Denver, and let's see who does what. Pelluer going deep. Gerard could not come down with it. Steve Wilson back there, number 45. That'll bring up a third and 24.
There's a guy who wants to do well today, Steve Wilson. Remember, he played for the Cowboys. He was a wide receiver, then they moved him to defensive back. Then he came here to the Broncos, and he's a defensive back. That looks like a jump ball. Just throw it up and see who wins the jump ball contest. Wilson won that one.
Third down. They're back at the 44, out of field goal range. Hill comes out wide to the right. Gerard and Cosby go left. Tough time for an offensive lineman. Pelluer up into the pocket. And Hill had it. It was a good throw. Lewis right.
Tony Hill has to catch that ball. That's a good throw by Pelluer. He had pressure in his face. That just goes right through his hands. He has to catch those. Well, I'll tell you, Pelluer on his part did everything he had to.
Didn't he?
Because he was getting some pressure. Watch from his right side, right there. And he had to throw that ball under that pressure, and that was a darn good throw.
Saxon back to punt for Dallas. Willhite standing at the 10. He landed in the end zone. 44-yard punt, no return, but they'll bring it back to the 20.
That ball took off, didn't it?
Didn't it? 2 minutes, 16 seconds left, third quarter. Mecklenburg looks like something like his helmet may have popped down on the top of his nose there.
That's what happened. You know, that's what it is. I'm sure that he got hit on the top, and the top of the helmet just comes down right there and gets that nose right above the bridge there.
I got one of those.
I think everyone has one of those. I have a couple of those in there. And then you get older, then you grow a crease right over it like this. That grows down like this.
Then you give up the idea of modeling.
Especially nose modeling.
Elway gives straight ahead to Willhite. He got about 4. There's Mecklenburg, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, see, and he's saying he can't be a nose model. He'll be other things, but he probably won't model noses when he gets done. He got a little something on that lip, too.
That may have just dripped down there.
Well, that's good, or you can rub it down there. No, I don't think Elway's completed a pass this second half, has he?
That's right, he has not. Second down. About 6, it looks like. Willhite straight ahead, hit by Bates and Martin Tuine.
I'll tell you, that's one thing I don't think you want to do is pull in the horns. I think that, you know, you get something like this and you just keep it going, and, you know, you keep your mixture going. I never thought you wanted to start running out the clock too soon.
Well, you see it happen not just in football, in just about every sport. When you start trying to sit on a lead, the other folks start picking up in the middle aspect, and all of a sudden they're back in it. Elway. He got the first down with that last-minute struggle in the arms of John Dutton.
I tell you, that Elway's a competitor.
Strong.
He ran that like a fullback.
Strong.
I think he made a bad cut. He likes that. You know, watch him. He's going to start up the middle. I think he could have stayed out there to his right. Look at the hole he had. But he wanted to make the cut back, lower his shoulder, drive those legs, drive. Get the first down. Who would think that guy's a quarterback?
It looks like he's been working on the machine.
Yeah, so he's like John Riggins or someone.
Got to get him another number.
Well, yeah, he'll want to, you know, next week he'll want to start hitting the sled. Build up those legs, get a little leg drive going.
1st and 10, Denver. Seconds running out in quarter number 3. Here they come with Willhite, and he is caught from behind by Ed Jones and John Dutton.
You know, everyone runs that play. That's the old Redskin play. They call it the counter trade. And I think that they've seen it so much that they just run it right down. Watch Too Tall Jones. When he sees that guard and tackle pull, he gets right in there behind him, right down the line of scrimmage.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. Denver 22, Dallas 7. And we now pause for a word from your local station. 2nd and 11. Elway from the spread. Can't find anybody. Now it's Chase. Might find somebody someday. Brett Sampson is finally the target. And finally gets open, and Elway finally hits it. Jeffcoat had about 3 shots at Elway and was knocked down about 3 times.
I know that Billy Bryan, the center, knocked him down for that 3rd time when he was ready to get all over Elway. They wanted to run this defensive line around. They're doing it. Watch him. He starts here. He can't find anything. No one's open yet. And then he's going to. Then Jeffcoat gets up. Jeffcoat goes down. Bryan knocks him down again. Picks him off. Elway's still looking. Now I'll tell you what happens on that, Pat. Those receivers, while Elway's doing, they have to keep working too.
Eventually, he'll find you. Back to Winder. Chased by Downs and knocked out of bounds by Ed Jones.
Here's Too Tall. He made a play in the run before that. Here he is playing off the block, coming down the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you, he's used to guys running sweeps at him. He's tough to do 2 things to. 1, get around on a sweep, and 2, throw over. But I'll tell you, he's getting tired.
Yeah.
That's a long day, and those guys have no subs either. There's nothing they can do about it.
I know it. Randy White is down out with a hamstring. Tuine is playing now at defensive tackle in his place. Elway with his tight end K. Bates hits him, and Lockhart hits him, but he still got the first down. A gain of 11.
You know, K right now is not a top receiver as a tight end. They say he's a great blocker, and he's developing. He's getting better because when he was in college, he never caught the ball. You know, he was just a blocker. So he's been a blocker here most of the time. As Dan Reeves says, he's coming as a receiver.
He's lined Lined up to the left now with Mobley also in there, the backup tight end. On the stop, and a flag is down at the bottom of that pile. 13 minutes plus left to play. Holding against Denver.
You know, of course, Clarence Kay, watch him the end here. He played at Georgia blocking for Herschel Walker, but watch him fire out. I mean, he's fire out square. He takes his man right out of the picture.
Offense. First down.
I mean, there's a penalty on that play, but, you know, I was talking about Clarence Kay. He just drove his guy with the initial hit and just put him like 5 yards back. I kind of like that. He got the gloves going, not much pads, just got the gloves on, big shoulder pads, little loose jersey.
Weighs 238.
Yeah. You know, there's some young tight ends coming around in this league.
That's right.
Kay here, Bavaro, and with the Giants, we've seen some good young ones.
Had it and dropped it. Clint Sampson was the intended receiver. Walls had a crack at an interception and couldn't find the handle.
You know, one of the best offensive linemen of the Broncos is number 76 right here, Ken Lanier. He's a right tackle. Watch him in his pass protection against Too Tall Jones. He started to the inside, pushed him off, then Dutton was coming on a stunt. That's good pickup. You take the first guy, boom, pop him to the inside, wait for the guy coming around, boom, pick him up.
Elway out of the spread on 2nd and 20 from midfield. No flag. Going for the bunch again, and caught by Clint Sampson in front of Bill Bates. A pickup of about 16.
You know, the amazing thing about this is we see Sampson work there. That was against a zone. That's a deep man and a short man, and he hit Sampson between the two. But I tell you, Elway threw that from the right hash mark. So you look at, you know, it's about 17 yards down the field, but all the way across the field, too.
That brings up a 3rd and 4. Clock still running. Retreats. Steve Watson with the good hand.
Dan Reeves said, every time I see Steve Watson make a great catch, I think he'll never do it again. But he said every week he does it, and here's one of them. Look, both hands getting up in the air, just taking that thing right out of the air. Of course, we can talk about that, but this is what makes it all possible. That's the protection. 4-man rush, boom, solid in there, have the back end to help, keep him right there, form in the perfect pocket so that Elway can, 1, see his guy, and 2, step and follow through.
And he can get it there. First down, Broncos at the Dallas 17. That's Winder on the move. That's Willhite straight ahead. Willhite hit backwards by Bates. A gain of 2.
Well, I'll tell you, if there's ever a skirmish after a play, Bates is usually right in the middle of it. See him that time, he was going against Dave Studdard, the tackle. Boy, Jeff Kemp's having a big day for the 49ers, huh?
Their last 3 touchdowns have been thrown by Kemp, all 3 to Jerry Rice. Don't forget about them, by the way. They're a good team. 2nd and 8 at the 15. Willhite to about the 12. John Dutton tripped him up, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
I wonder if this is where the Broncos, in fact, John Elway is coming over here to talk to Dan Reeves. Just talk to him. As Willhite's coming out. I wonder if this is where they might try and flip the play. Like a run pass. Of course, Willhite is one of the guys who would throw that run pass.
The other Sampson, and he's in the game.
Sewell is always was a possibility for a trick.
12 plays. The Broncos have had the ball almost 7 minutes. That's Sewell in motion. Elway gets it outside. Touchdown, Gene Lang. Denver 28, Dallas 7. Elway's third touchdown pass, that to Gene Lang. Karlis extra point is good.
If you have protection like that and throws like that, you don't need any tricks. Just go back and throw it.
29 work out like that, but today at least, everything we could learn in their preparation, this is how they had prepared. Pretty impressive right there. 7 minutes and 13 seconds they kept the ball. Karlis to kick off. Levette and Quack back deep for Dallas. It'll be Levette at the 1. To maybe the 21.
You know, we talked about this Bronco defense, and of course we talked about Herschel Walker being such a big part of this Cowboy offense. He's had 13 carries for 34 yards. And of course they would like to have Tony Dorsett back, and they think that they might have him next week.
Danny White, of course, also missed today. Now Randy White pulled a hamstring, and he's out today. Rulon Jones saying that somebody pulled him offside.
Full start, number 61.
Somebody did.
First down.
Jim Cooper.
Well, Cooper's having a tough time today. In that last drive, it was, you know, he got that 10-yard penalty for hitting in the face, jumped off sides on that play. Tom Landry got that earpiece going in there. You know, that's really not a headset. See, if you have a headset, you couldn't wear it with a hat. That thing just sticks in his ear.
There's Walker. Battling straight ahead. Not much doing. Greg Cragen. Walker got 4.
Walker has like 14 carries for 38 yards. And that's not a typical Herschel Walker day.
It's going to hurt his averages. He was averaging 6.1 per carry.
Looks like there's some confusion in the Cowboy huddle.
Second and 11.
Just saw Victor Scott going off the field there. They've already x-rayed that. He has a fractured wrist. So they're taking him now in the Cowboy locker room. Earlier, they took him in the Bronco locker room for the x-ray.
Here's Pelluer on second and 11. Now the penalty marker goes down again. And from the reaction of the Bronco players, it's going to be against Dallas.
Full start.
And again, a false start.
63, offense. Down.
You know, they were going to have the center, Tom Rafferty, call the cadence because they were worried about this. One play, Cooper jumped off sides where the lineman couldn't hear it. That time the left guard, Glenn Titanser, did. We ought to look at this one to see. Well, see this one. See the left guard there moved on the last play. We ought to see if Rafferty is in fact calling the signals.
To Walker, and it pulls nobody. Going in the other direction rapidly. Andre Townsend that time, a loss of 4.
And Randy Robbins was in there. You know, their safeties, their defensive backs of these Broncos have been in the backfield of the Cowboys as much as the Cowboy backs. That Robbins is having a big day. You know, a lot of times you don't count him to block him, but he gets up there in that line of scrimmage and comes across, and he's in their backfield.
Third down. Pelluer sacked at the 1. Rulon Jones.
Side playing over the guard, starts to work outside on a stunt, then has Richards pick him up, then he takes back on the inside against Richards and comes up with a sack, almost for another safety.
Tough day for Pelluer. Saxon.
This is going to be a tough place to punt because he doesn't get his normal 15-yard drop.
And if he steps out of the end zone, it's another safety. Mark Jackson back deep. Good kick by Saxon. Close to 80 yards, he left it on the ground. I don't know who got it. It looked as if the Cowboys might have. And they come up with it. Todd Fowler is down there. 58-yard punt by Saxon out of the end zone. That's a heck of an effort right there.
And then to come up with the ball. Hey, the Cowboys special teams were hustling down there. I don't know what it looked like. He tripped, his feet tripped, and as his feet tripped, the ball just went out of his hands.
That's the first Denver turnover of the day. Cowboys have it at the Denver 46-yard line. Pelluer back to throw. If he has time. To Tony Hill, and I think he caught it. Yes, it's a catch.
That may be an instant replay one. We're going to have to look at that one again. I tell you, Tony Hill was down, just reached out his right arm. Look at him here, he's running to the inside on a hook. Now he's looking to the outside. He goes down and catches that ball. I don't know if that was a one-hopper or not. Let's see if that ball hit the ground. No, it didn't hit the ground. It hit his hands and bounced up.
He caught it.
That was a legal catch. The umpire is talking now. They're talking.
They're consulting.
They're consulting. I'm sure he's telling them if he looked at that last replay, he would see that it didn't hit the ground. Yeah. Yeah, they're looking at it, calling down. They're probably looking at it again. This is what they're looking at. You can see it's going to hit his hands. See, his hands are down there underneath the ball. Then it goes up to his chest, and then he had control of that ball. That's a legal catch.
They're still consulting.
This is something. I like instant replay. I think, it's going to take some time to get the bugs worked out, but it adds another dimension. I think it's another thing for the fans. I think it's a way that something terrible doesn't happen in a game and you get away with it.
Jerry Mark Bright still listening, and they're still talking.
I don't know that it takes that much talk. There they are right there. The official is Tony Viteri. He's an ex-NFL official. And Joe Ryan, he's a communicator. He's from the league office.
And they're going to bring it back.
The pass is ruled incomplete. Second down on the 46-yard line.
I'll tell you, they saw something we didn't see. I think they missed that one. This may be the angle that they look, but his hands are between the ground and the football. And unless the ball's on the ground there before he turns over, that's the only thing I can see they see. But right there, he has his hands between the ground and the ball. Unless they had a rule that the ball was on the ground underneath his stomach, that's the only thing I can see.
They bring it back. In any case, it's second down and 10. Pelluer's back to throw, and the Broncos are blitzing. Pelluer gets away from one. Gets away for 2. Now that's a catch. Review it all you want to. He caught it.
Are you talking to those guys in the booth?
Well, they overruled us.
Take that one. You want to see a catch? I'll show you a catch. Watch this. You go down. You feel your quarterback scramble. So you start across the field. So he was way over on the right side. Then he starts to work over in the left. And he catches the ball. Legal catch.
First down. Dallas has it at the Denver 22. The Broncos lead at 29-7. Just over 6 minutes left to play. Pelluer back. Mecklenburg hurdles somebody. That's Newsome. Newsome down to about the 12. Rick Dennison. Watch Mecklenburg.
Did you see that what he did? I don't know that I've ever seen a guy this big. I mean, we're talking about a 250-pound guy. Watch him on the rush. Walker starts to block him. He just hurdles right over Herschel Walker. Then Titanser finally picks him up. I don't think I've ever seen a guy that big do something like that.
2nd and 1. Newsome got 9 on the pass from Pelluer. Pelluer back to throw again. Fakes. Outside to Walker. Walker out of bounds. For an NFL update, let's go back to Brent Musburger again in New York. Brent, we're back at Mile High Stadium with the Broncos in control of things with 5:22 left to play, and Dallas on the move now inside the 10. 1st and goal. Pelluer incomplete, intended, or in the direction of Walker. Randy Robbins on the coverage again.
Say, that Randy Robbins has been all over the field. There's a flag on the play, too. In fact, I think there could be 2 flags on the play, but that if you gave a game ball or an MVP, he could get it today.
Number 45, defense, automatic first down.
Steve Wilson. Automatic first down. Dallas at about the 4-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
First, that was away from the ball. Steve Wilson is a cornerback. Was thrown to Herschel Walker. Steve Wilson is out there on Tony Hill. You see him now. He was hit. The first hit was legal. And I don't know where the hold was.
1st and goal, Dallas. Pelluer in a hurry out to Newsome. Newsome, touchdown. Those who might have just joined the game, the 2nd quarter was the big quarter for the Broncos. They lead right now 29-13 with Rafael Septien about set to try the extra point. 60 minutes will be coming up next, except on the West Coast. Have guns will travel, the retired American general who will fight your war for you as long as you're fighting communists. Tonight on 60 Minutes. Septien with Pelluer holding. And it's good. So with 5:12 still left to play, it's Denver 29, Dallas 14. 29-14, Denver leading Dallas. And we're in the 4th quarter. Coming up next, of course, 60 minutes, except on the West Coast. As soon as it's over.
This could be an onside kick here, Pat.
I think there's too much doubt about it.
Well, they need 3 scores, the Cowboys do.
Denver's expecting. Dallas got it. Dallas ball. It hit somebody in the head, and Johnny Holloway came down with it.
I'll tell you, that's a pretty good play. They had a shift and everything. Now, when you're going down there, the front guys don't try and go for it. They try and block against them. You see the good block there? They're trying to block the Broncos out, and then you bring in your second wave to come up with the ball.
Todd Fowler is the guy who caved in the Bronco rush, and Holloway came up with it.
Fowler caved in about 3 of them, I think.
So it's first down, Cowboys at the Denver 49. Who would have thought?
I'll tell you, Steve Pelluer has done a pretty good job today.
With the pressure that's been on him, he's done a heck of a job. Back again is Pelluer. Gets it out to Newsome. Newsome steps away from one Bronco, puts his head down and gets down to about their 35. Mike Harden finally brought him down. Good move by Newsome, a pickup of 14. In the event you might have missed some of the other scores. Washington rolling right along. The Giants continue. Cleveland wins for the first time at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Detroit over Houston. Here, the Cowboys on the move against Denver, but trailing 29-14. Pelluer back to throw. To Gerard. He's down in the arms of Randy Robbins, but it's another Dallas first down. Clock running. Dallas has all of their timeouts remaining, by the way. A gain of 13. 49ers 35-14 over Indianapolis. They're in overtime. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Los Angeles.
I think the Cowboys here ought to start throwing it in the end zone now because, like we say, they need 3 scores.
Pelluer to Cosby. To the 11. And another first down. Now they better really put it in the end zone.
Well, they have to do that because they need a score here, and then they have to come back with another onside, another score, then another onside.
That's a little hard to be optimistic about that situation. Danny White hopes to be able to play next week. First down, Cowboys. They're at the 12. Here they come. Batted away by Denver. The blitz was on the way. Rulon Jones got a big hand up and knocked it down. Left to play at Mile High Stadium with the Cowboys at the Denver 12 trading 29-14. Pelluer on today's job is 22 out of 37 at this point. That's Walker in motion. Here comes the Denver blitz. Pelluer gets away from it, gets it to Tony Hill. He stayed inbounds and gets to about the 8.
Hey, Pelluer is giving a little of that Elway stuff, a little of the run. Here he starts. This is an organized rollout. You see, he took his first couple steps back, then boom out here to the left, found Tony Hill. That's a 3rd pass that Tony Hill caught in a row on his knees.
Or sliding or diving.
He has to catch one where he has his feet under him, where he can run in.
3rd and 5. Hill is split wide to the left. Gerard over to the right. Behind Newsome, I think it was deflected by Mecklenburg. And he knocked it behind Newsome.
I think with 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I think if you're going to throw the ball here, you have to throw it in the end zone. Because when you complete one, you want a touchdown. That's Danny White. See, he's signaling in. Paul Hackett talks to Tom Landry. Tom Landry gives a play to Danny White. Danny White signals it in to Steve Pelluer, who calls it in the huddle.
That brings up a 4th and 5 situation with 2.5 minutes left to play. Gerard and Hill both are split wide to the right. Intercepted in the end zone by Louis Wright. Be enough for the Broncos. 2:23 left, and they lead 29-14. Denver with the ball at their own 20-yard line, leading 29-14. John Elway put on a clinic in the second quarter. And it's been a tough day score-wise and injury-wise and yardage-wise for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, the Cowboys, when they get some of these guys well and get them back, they're going to be a much better team as the season progresses. I really believe that.
That's Winder. Mike Hagman stopped him, and let's take you back again to Brent Musburger in New York. Sewell in motion. Sammy Winder gets the first down outside the 30. Michael Downs and Everson Walls on the stop. Pick up a 5.
You know, Tom Landry says he enjoys playing his ex-coaches. He said, but I don't want to lose to him.
And of course, Dan Reeves is going to do that. Winder over the left side. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. John Dutton was there.
Now we're starting to look like football here, aren't we? And that's Steve Wilson, a cornerback. And when you get a little dirt like that on the back and a little blood and stuff in the front, and you're playing cornerback, that's been a pretty wild game out there today.
It can be a difficult position. Down and 10 at the 30. Willhite straight ahead, stopped by Mark Tuinei. Reggie Collier, the third Dallas quarterback, over talking to Steve Pelluer, or close to him. They were talking. 1:46 left to play. The give again is to Winder. Michael Downs up with help from Eugene Lockhart to bring him down. Now the clock will run.
But, you know, I think of the teams that we've seen this year, Denver's one of the best. I think the Bears are the other one of the best. And to me, those are the two best teams right now, the way they're playing right now in the NFL. If I had to pick them, I would say Denver and the Bears.
John Elway's had a good day, and the Denver defense has had a good day. So has Gerald Willhite. Don't leave him out. Scored 3 touchdowns.
Well, you know, and they've played a solid game. I mean, you think of the offense and how they've moved the ball running and passing. Defense, how they've stopped it. Think of the special teams, how they've played. I'll tell you, I don't think that guy has a right arm there. I think there's a gun in there.
Boy, he could hurt somebody throwing the ball.
Yeah, but he looks so innocent. You know, the baby face type thing, and you pack a weapon like that on you.
Well, you asked Dan Reeves about him, about what kind of arm he's got, and he just shakes his head. 1:02 left to play. Dallas out of timeouts now. All out rush, he gets it away. With that, try to run it out of bounds. It does run it out of bounds. At about the 41.
What talk went on behind that bench?
Pelluer out of the spread. Gets the screen pass out to Herschel Walker. And Herschel down the sideline and out of bounds. It's a Dallas first down.
Sometimes it gets lost, but one of the guys that over those years has been doing a great coaching job is Dan Reeves.
Elway by Andre Townsend again. That's 5 sacks. Clock will run. Now they've stopped it while they regroup. Now they start it again. Pelluer gets him back in a hurry.
Pelluer just looks like Elway.
Spins out of it. Almost picked off by Louis Wright again. 3rd and 21. Pelluer has some time this time. Incomplete. Pass intended for Mike Sherrard. 29-14. 3 wide receivers stacked up on the left. Pelluer has to scramble. Nobody there. Picked off by Mike Harden. Game's going to be over by the time he gets through running, and he goes out of bounds.
So that Philadelphia could be easy.
For John Madden, and this is Pat Summerall saying so long from Mile High Stadium in Denver, where the final score was Denver 29, Dallas 14. Coming up next on the NFL Today, the wrap-up show with Brent Musburger. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.